All right, this is the last video for assessment one. This one, I was surprised at how many people tried this one. So this is really, really good. So let's go ahead and split it up into two parts again. So this first part, I'm going to call Y1. This second part, I'm going to call Y2. And we'll do them separately. This one, I thought this was supposed to be the more challenging one of all of these. So x squared, sine x, secant x. So many of you for this one, what you did is you used the product rule, and the way your brain made this a product is that you thought of this as one function. So many of you wrote f of x is x squared sine x, and you wrote g of x as the secant x. So, and of course, many of you need the derivative of the secant. That's the secant x tangent x. Where people struggle with was the derivative of f, because if you notice, f is another product. There's a product in there, and so the derivative of f, this is where we struggled, should have been 2x sine x plus x squared cosine x using the product rule. Okay, so now once you have that, then y1 prime, of course, using the product rule, f prime g plus fg prime should have been f prime is 2x sine x plus x squared cosine x times g, which is secant x, plus f, which is x squared sine x times g prime, which is secant x tangent x. Okay. Notice that I only use parentheses if there's a plus sign in my function. If there's no plus sign, there's no need for those parentheses. All right, so that was part one. So that was a little bit complicated. And then part two, the second function, y2 is cube root of x tangent x over 1 minus cosine x. Again, many of you use the quotient rule, so that was good. F of x is the cube root, so that's x to the 1/3 tangent x. And g of x is 1 minus cosine x. Here, most of you got that the derivative of 1 is 0, the derivative of cosine is negative sine, and so the negative times the negative is a positive sine x. So that was really good. Where people, again, struggled was noticing that this is also a product. So f prime is 1/3 x to the negative 2/3 tangent x plus x to the 1/3, and the derivative of the tangent x is secant squared x. And so y2 prime, using the quotient rule, remember that it's f prime g minus fg prime over g squared. So in this case, f prime 1/3 x to the negative 2/3 tangent x plus x to the 1/3 secant squared x times g, so 1 minus cosine x. Notice I use parentheses because there's a minus, minus f, which is x to the 1/3 tangent x. Don't need parentheses there, times g prime, which is sine x. Don't need parentheses because there's no minus or a plus in between. That's the only time you need parentheses, if there's minus or pluses in between. And then over g squared, which is 1 minus cosine. And so now my final answer, this is also called f. So f prime of x is equal to y1 prime plus y2 prime and in order to save myself some writing, I'm just going to copy and paste. I'm sorry that you can't do this on a quiz or on an assessment, but so here is the y1 prime plus the y2 prime. So this is what you do if you run out of room. Okay. So again, the one thing I do want you to notice with all of these is that it's okay to show work. I mean, that's why I give you an hour and a half so that you can show your work and take your time and not feel too rushed. If you can assess completely 3 standards every assessment, you're doing actually pretty good. So if you can assess these twice, that's awesome. I think that's it for right now. Good luck with your studies, and I'll see you soon.